I'm Emmy Potter, and this is Stereotypes. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite artists, Nina Simone.
Stereotypes examines women trailblazers who challenged norms and rewrote the rules, changing music and culture.
Nina Simone was not always Nina Simone's name. She was originally born Eunice Kathleen Wayman to a family in North Carolina, and her musical training really began in the church. So she started playing in church. Her parents realized pretty early on that she seemed to have a prodigious talent, especially for the piano. So they enrolled her in piano lessons with a British woman living in the town. She did so well that by the time she was old enough, she auditioned for both Juilliard and the Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia. She was accepted to both. Her family moved to Philadelphia in order for her to attend Curtis, only for Curtis to deny her admission, which she believed was based because of her race. She started playing in a cocktail bar. Now, her parents were pretty religious, so in order to continue playing in the cocktail bars, where they also wanted her to sing, which she'd never done before, she changed her name to Nina Simone. Because of Nina's classical music training, she was able to combine all of that into her jazz, which made her sound really interesting, like no one had ever heard this before. Where she took off was at a concert at Town Hall in 1959. There is a recording of Nina Simone at Town Hall in 1959, which you can and should listen to. Her Town Hall concert is really the first time that you can hear her synthesis of all these different styles. She especially loved the music of Johann Sebastian Bach. So when you listen to a lot of her accompaniments for herself, she incorporates a lot of this fugue style that Bach wrote in, really interesting arpeggiated sequences. Sometimes she would incorporate more of a romantic piano style, music that sounded like Chopin or Liszt or Rachmaninoff. She'd play in these huge concert chords. Sometimes it even sounded like Claude Debussy, which she contrasted with her voice. Her voice is interesting because she doesn't really sound like anyone else, but she had the ability to change her voice depending on what the song called for, what the arrangements she made called for. So sometimes if she was playing these huge chords, she would make her voice very soft. She wouldn't use a lot of vibrato so that you could really pay more attention to the music underneath. So she played jazz for a long time, but then civil rights came along and she felt like she needed to use her voice for something else. And she wrote the song called Mississippi Goddam. Mississippi Goddam was banned in most places in the South because it was a really, really righteous song about the way things were. Nina felt like she had this incredible voice and she could use it for something much bigger than herself. And that's what she did, while still incorporating all of these cross-genre styles that no one else could seem to do.
Just try to do my very best. Stand up, be counted with all the rest. Everybody knows about Mississippi Goddam.
Now, Nina's nickname was the High Priestess of Soul, mostly because her live performances were so spellbinding and unpredictable. Now, some of that unpredictability did come from her own mental illness, which could make her violent one moment or really docile the next. But that's also what made her so good to watch. She has the ability, not just through her music, but her voice, to draw you into her spell, to draw you into her music, and really puts you in a trance. And it's not for nothing that one of her most famous covers was the song I Put a Spell on You. She's also known for feeling good, which is how you'll probably feel after you listen to one Miss Nina Simone.
Because you're mine.
I'm Emmy Potter, and you've been watching Stereotypes. If you liked what you saw, leave us a comment, a nice one, please. Like, share, follow, subscribe.